On Image My Edit. So this week I'm going to be showing you how to create something that's I've called kind of urban black. So this is a lead on from last week's urban grunge look. So I'm sort of going down this rabbit hole at the minute of these urban tones and looks, which I really like. And as you can see here, what it does, any image that's got a hint of black in it, it really makes it pop. It kind of, we saturate the colors and just make these blacks pop out more, and it gives you this really raw kind of urban look to it. So I really like it, and it's a really simple process. So I'm going to reset this and just walk you through the process, okay? So let's start at the top. So the first thing I'm going to do is just boost this color to temperature up a little bit to around +10, just to give it a little bit of a warm feel. I'm going to bring the exposure up just a tad, probably not even half a stop. There we go, just to punch it out a little bit. Now what I am going to do is increase the contrast a lot. I love contrasting images, and I think just around +50 is really nice. It would just give us a lot of punch. The highlights, I'm going to boost them up to around 20, 21. Same with the shadows, I'm going to boost them up. They're all going to be sat around this 20, 21 mark. Same with the shadows there. The whites we're going to completely take out 100%, and then we're going to boost these blacks up to around 30, 31, around there. Okay, so this is giving us a kind of bit of a baseline to work from. I'm going to add a little bit of clarity to it, just to make it pop a little bit more. It's not a sharpening tool, but it does help with the sharpened look. Then dehaze as well, we're going to push this up to around 30, 31, around there. Again, it's just giving us a really nice high contrasting image. And then what I'm going to do is just start bringing some of these colors down. So bringing the vibrance down to around -20, around there. And same with saturation, about -20. We could actually go a little bit more on this one to around 30, 31. That's quite nice, and you can start to see there we're starting to get that kind of that look, aren't we, where it's a bit grungy. I don't know if that's a technical term, grungy, it's just something I call it. So the next thing then is the tone curve. Now this is really important because this is what's going to give us lots of contrast. So I'm going to add 3 points there, and I'm going to bring the black section down quite a bit to around there. And then with these grays, I'm going to bring these down to about there. Okay, and with these whites here, I'm going to bring them down a little bit here. So it's around there. So it's quite a steep curve as it gets towards these black areas here. And just fine tune that there. So it's around there. That's quite a nice curve, and it's very contrasting because we're bringing down the whites, the greys, and the blacks, but the blacks were kind of heavily going in. So it's a real sharp curve there, and that looks really nice. So the next thing then, I'm going to start off with the color. I'm going to start off with the hues. So I'm going to take the oranges out a little bit to around -10, -13, around there. The yellows we're going to completely take away because we don't want to have any yellow tones within there. Okay, the rest you can leave. The saturation, now this is where the majority of the work is done. So I'm going to push the reds up to around 50, and that's because I've got a bit of a red car in there. So I want to keep that kind of red tone, and it helps to work with the blacks. It really makes the blacks pop out a little bit more. You can leave the orange. The yellow, going to make that -100. In fact, all of these, I'm just going to bring these out. So again, like last week's urban grunge look, we took out majority of the colors. So we just left with the reds and oranges and a little bit of yellow. And that really helps just, create this look. So the luminance, the brightness. So I'm just going to bring that red down a little bit because I don't want it too garish. The oranges, are going to push them up to around +10 as well, and then we can leave the rest. Now the next step is the color grading. So this is going to work really well, and this is going to add a little bit of a blue tone to the image. So let's start off with the highlights because I'm already on there. So we're going to select a hue, and again the hue color is down here where it says hue. You've got the number there. So I like around 220 mark because that's a really nice blue. And then saturation, we just bring that down to around +5, +6, depending on your image. You can tweak that. And let's do the same with the shadows. So let's bring the shadows down around to 120, 122, quite nice. And then again, saturation, let's bring that down to about -9, I think works quite well. There, so around 222 there, that's quite nice. Now what we're going to do now is the blending. So we're going to go to the highlights and we're going to push the blending all the way to the top. Okay, and that just blends more the blue in. Okay, you could sharpen the image a little bit if you need to. Okay, around 10, 1 pixel detail. Let's bring that up to 50, so we're kind of still retaining some of the detail there. We might want to add a little bit of noise reduction on this as well because of what we've just done. So let's go around +10, 15, around there. I think works quite well. Again, depending on your particular image. This will work with anything that's got a hint of black in it. So just reducing the noise in the color is just going to help, because what we've just done, we've basically, ripped a lot of that color out, and that's pretty much it. So it's a really simple process. And if we look at the before and after, I press on the Y key there, you can see the end result, and it gives this, like I said, this really nice black matte effect. It just tones down all these yellows. You can see there why I've done that, because of the face had a lot of yellow in, and we're still keeping that red, not because I want a color pop, but just because I think it's important. If we took too much color out of the car, it wouldn't work as well. So if you actually look, there's not a lot of color within this shot. We've only got a few oranges and reds working in this to help us. Now again, obviously after when you've finished, you can play around with the settings, and I advise that you do that, keeping the before up and just fine tune these, because it's going to enable you to really precisely get the edit that you want. And you can see just these little adjustments, what it does. And again, play with the tone curve as well, because that's a really important step within the actual whole process, and you'll be amazed at what a little adjustment can do. So it's worth taking your time just to really fine tune these settings. Okay, but that's pretty much it. That's how you do it, and you get this beautiful urban grunge look. And again, you can use this on portraits, you can use this on anything really, architecture stuff, even landscape stuff, but you just need to make sure that the image is right for this edit. So like I say, you need to have some black within the shot in order for it to work, otherwise it would just look a very flat image. But we can see here that even the building, which has got some grey tones to it, that's turned grey. And up here as well on this side of the building, we've kept some of the orange brickwork because that's in the orange red spectrum, and just toned everything else down. But yeah, all these darker areas around here near the lights, look, they've gone nice and dark. And we've kept a lot of detail around here, and these whites are really starting to pop as well. So it's a really cool process, and I like it. I think it adds a lot of mood and drama to your images. So have a go with that, have a play, see how you get on, post them up in the Facebook group, and I'll see you on the next video.